What's up guys, Loki here and welcome to yet another HumanitZ video, although this one is a little bit different. I'm not actually playing the game, I'm just going to be explaining some of the Zeek feed information that we have for 1.0 update, which is on the horizon. So I'm just going to dive into a load of the information that we have so far with some of the things that are coming in 1.0. And then a bit later on in the video, I'm going to break it down, some of the things that they're showing us for my opinion on it. And I also want to know what you guys think of some of the things that we have to come. So make sure at the end, once you've watched the video, to comment your thoughts on some of the things that we have to come into 1.0. And I've got to admit, from the word go, I am so excited already from what I've just seen. With 1.0 coming to get back in and test a load of this new stuff out. So let's crack on with this. This was the first Zeek feed that we had, which was at the end of July, and it's marching towards 1.0. We're really excited to officially announce that the dev team is now working full steam ahead toward the 1.0 build of HumanitZ. But let's be clear, 1.0 is not the end, it's just the beginning. This milestone represents a more refined, polished experience packed with major quality of life improvements, community-driven changes, and as few bugs as humanly possible. It's the version that defines our vision, solidifies the core of the game, and sets the stage for the future. What 1.0 really means: a more stable, optimized foundation, key systems and mechanics, polished based on our vision and your feedback, continued content and support beyond launch, the start of a longer journey, not the final chapter. So once again with this, knowing that 1.0 is going to come out, the dev team are going to continue to update the game and support the game, which again is something we all love to hear. It's not going to be one of them where there's 1.0 and then they disappear. So that is something, again, that is awesome. Now, the next part is a thank you to the community. And again, I'll explain a little bit of my thoughts with the HumanitZ dev team. So to every one of you that's played HumanitZ over the past 2 years, submitted feedback, reported bugs, or just shared the love, thank you. Your support has meant everything, and it's helped shape what HumanitZ is and will become. We're building this world with you, and 1.0 is the first big step in what we hope will be a long undead journey together. Now, something that always appeals to me with something like this is the fact that the dev team listen and have done their best to please everybody and give people what they want. Obviously, it's impossible to give everything everyone wants because they have a vision of the game, but again, the community gives their feedback and they listen, and with updates that we've had, they have blown the update out the water. Each and every update has just changed the game. And for someone like myself, when I first got the game, when it came out in early access, I played it for a bit and then I left it for a good sort of 8 months. And when I came back and I saw update after update after update after update, I was like, I need to jump back into this. And ever since, I never looked back. I absolutely love HumanitZ, massive supporter of them. And I can't wait to continue my journey with the game when we get to 1.0. I've got lots of things planned myself, obviously doing the update video for when the update does come out. And then I'll be doing lots of other things like guides and bits and pieces like that. So I'm super excited. So anyway, let's crack on with the list, and then I'll start breaking down some of the things as we get into it as we go through. So here is a list of some of the things coming to HumanitZ 1.0. Remember, this is only some. Now, what I've seen already from these two feeds, like it's incredible. Okay. So brand new skill and profession systems. We'll go into that a bit more into detail in a bit. New island to discover. Now, if you play on a single player game and you go into like your admin mode and actually go and look at the island, it is huge. It is absolutely huge. And again, something I cannot wait to see what they do with it. And obviously, again, having the questions through your head going, is it going to be a toxic area? Or we know it's going to be an end game kind of island. So it's more about what's going to be there. So I can't wait to hear a bit more about that. Anyway, game performance and improvements, fix as many bugs as possible, Zeke update, performance, movement, mechanics, the human AI update. So Bandit Sniper, I think that's wicked. More realistic movement / tactics and actions. Now, again, for me, I would love to see bandits be able to climb ladders and stuff like that. Again, put in people that like to build on top of buildings that think that they're completely safe from any form of attack will kind of negate it a bit, you know, make it a little bit more of a, you got to think where you really want to be. And again, it's just, a lot of this stuff's my opinion, right, guys? So, but that's my thought on it. Anyway, we've got improved building systems and negate the skybase issues. Guns and ammo change. Ammo will be stored in the weapon when dropped, sold, etc. Weapon sway and recoil. Special ammo. The lore, obviously the lore about how the outbreak began. And world lore. Full main map overhaul. In-game map updates. Full controller support. Steam Deck support, loads of new quests, new world quests, rebalancing of XP acquisitions, quality of life, polish, standardization, motorbikes. Motorbikes sounds absolutely awesome, and a lot of you that follow me and watch me when I play HumanitZ live or put videos out, I'm such a good driver, never crash. Yeah, I think that's going to be wicked. PvP balancing, changes to hunting system, healing other players. Again, another thing I think is really good. Rather than having to drop your meds, you can heal them yourselves. More cooking options and recipes, holdable shields, basic swimming, updates and improvements to the UI, new custom characters, new weapons, new Zeeks, and more. I mean, that list alone, which again is just some of the main things coming, is huge, right? And again, we're going to go into some of this into a bit more detail. So, and then they've obviously added here things to come post 1.0. So after 1.0 release, mod support, console release, recruitable NPCs. I know that's been, people have asked for that for a long time. I see it a lot. I hear it a lot, which I think is really cool. Vehicle trailers, another thing I think is absolutely wicked. Maximum players on server increased, and then more things to come via the official post 1.0 road. So that is, again, it gives us a good oversight of what's to come. Now, moving on to the skills and professions overhaul. I've looked into this, and this is absolutely huge, a massive change to what we have already. And I'm going to just go through my thought process behind it, and we'll just run through some of the things that we can see on the screen. But again, this is going to make you have to think a lot more which kind of route you want to take when it comes to surviving in the apocalypse. And I think it's absolutely fantastic. So we can see up the top here, we've got the weapons tree, the survival tree, and then the profession specific trees. Okay, so if we just look, for example, down here, we can now see on this image here, we have weapons. So you've got the melee at the top, which is selected here, melee weapons, which is locked. So you have to unlock it first. So kill Zeeks using a light melee weapon, 10, 0 out of 10. Kill Zeeks using a medium melee weapon, and kill Zeeks using a heavy melee weapon, just to unlock that part of the skill tree. And I think this is absolutely incredible, and it is a massive game changer in my opinion. You've also got then along the top, you've got your rifles, you've got bows, explosives, then you've got your survival aspects, and then obviously the professions at the bottom, which I'll go through in a little while. So as you can see on here then, once you actually unlock the melee weapon sub-menu, you can look, there are 20 different skills just attached to melee. So you can already see, for those of you that play HumanitZ, the skill system, this is huge. So having to go through the melee side and then assuming the weapons for rifles and pistols, bows, explosives are going to be similar, you're really going to have to think where you're going to start putting points into which system. And the same splitting it between weapons and survival is going to make you think a lot more what's going to help you survive in the world. So again, hats off. That is incredible. I can't wait to see more of that. And something they do explain with the profession system is you start with one profession, but later as you progress through the game, you can have up to 3. So at the minute, we are limited to the one that you pick at the beginning of the game. For example, like the medic one, where it when you heal yourself, I think it's 25% extra healing on it. Now we'll be able to pick an extra 2 professions as we progress through the game. So yeah, can't wait for that. And guys, let me know through this. I'm going to be asking you to let me know your thoughts of what you think of some of the stuff that we're looking at today. And then the next part, they've said that they've hired a talented character artist who are working to create completely new custom characters and clothing. Something we all love, I believe I do anyway, is be able to just create a custom character, you know, how they look, so on and so forth. And we'll look into this a little bit more in a little while, but something I think is really good is to have this custom character models. I think you guys are obviously going to probably enjoy it yourselves as well. And yeah, again, another huge change to the game when 1.0 comes out. Then we've got sneak peek here at some of the work we've been doing with weapon sway and recoil. Again, there won't be any more just running in with your P90 or your AK or your AR-15 or whatever you're using and just holding it down. Now you're going to have to actually take skilled shots or learn to pull down and, you know, control your fire. So again, something else that is really cool, and I'm super excited to get the recoil in there and watch my terrible aim. But yeah, so now moving on to some of the stuff we can see in this image. Now this triggers a lot of stuff in my head of what certain things we may have. You can see here that what they've been working on: new weapons, new ammo types, new food types, new crafting items, crafting stations and buildings. This image is not all encompassing, so stay tuned for more in the future. Now, we'll run into a bit more of this a bit later. However, there's some things on here that do trigger what are they going to be used for. Example, the cement mixer. Does this mean we're going to be able to upgrade our wooden bases to stone or whatever? I'm not sure, but it's, you know, it gives you that thought process of, well, what's it going to be used for? That would be my thought behind it, is to upgrade the existing wooden structures. So again, something, if you guys have any other thoughts on it, then let me know. We also have a reel here, which is like, looks like wire. My thought, and again, I've said a lot about like switches and stuff for generators. Now, maybe we can link generators together using it, or it's going to be used for something completely different. I'm not sure. And again, if you guys have any other thoughts what it might be used for or what it is, then again, just let me know in the comments below and brainstorm together. Now, obviously, looking at the table here, we've got a new rifle. We've got a flare gun. There's an axe, some ammo, some different foods and drinks on the table here, an alarm clock. The alarm clock, I would assume maybe something we can wind up, place down in the world, and use it as a distraction. So I think that's really cool if that's what it's going to be used for. And then talking about food, again, something for me, and again, this is just something I'd like to see with the food, is certain foods that give you, you know, like slight buffs, stamina buffs, like the energy drink that we already have gives you a slight stamina buff. But other kind of buffs I think would be cool to have with certain food types. But again, that's just my opinion, and let me know what you guys think. So again, yeah, having a sneak look at this again is really cool. And obviously at the end of this, they've got some final words of thanks for taking the time to read our latest Zeek feed. We hope you're as excited as we are for the future of HumanitZ. From here on out, we'll be bringing you more Zeek feeds to keep you up to date on progress and all the latest info as we move forward toward 1.0. And like I say, I'm super excited about this. So with that one out of the way, we're going to move on to the next feed that we had not long ago, and I'll start breaking down some more stuff to you guys and giving you some of my opinions on it. Okay, so Zeek feed 007. So again, this was released not that long ago, and they go into a lot more detail of some of the things that we have. And there's some things I'm really looking forward to and definitely want to know what your thoughts are. So before we dive into this latest Zeek feed, just a heads up, there's quite a few spoilers. If you'd rather discover everything fresh from 1.0 drops, now's the time to click away. So yeah, it's up to you guys, but I'm going to start running through some of the stuff that we have access to here. So they've been working harder than ever in the last week's feed, and we've got plenty to show and discuss. Let's start with the infection. Our goal was to make the Zeeks feel like more of a threat and to overhaul how infection works in HumanitZ. With the new character progression and skill system, losing a survivor should now feel more impactful than ever, and I completely agree. I completely agree, because at the minute, when we have a vivid dream, because I never die in games anyway, but you know, you can run back, you can get your bag, and there's no real feel of a loss. So let's just have a look at the infection system overhaul that they've talking about, and I'm going to tell you why I am so excited for this once we've got through it. So we've introduced a brand new infection system. Now, each time you get hit by a Zeek, you'll take on a small amount of infection. This will slowly build up over time. Once your infection meter hits 10%, it will display on your player HUD so you can keep track of it. The infection meter ranges from 0 to 100, but be aware, a single bite adds 50 to that meter. So things can go bad fast. If the meter hits 100, you're dead. And this bit here, when you die, you will lose all accrued XP. So what that means, and I'm not teaching you guys to suck eggs, but what that means to me is when you die, all of that XP that you've gained and been using for your skill system is going to be gone. Again, that's what I believe. And I think, again, my opinion, that is great. It stops you running in, swinging your katana around like no tomorrow, or just, you know, spraying down the Zeeks. It's going to make you plan a lot more carefully into what you're doing, because no one wants to lose all of that XP that they've gained when you die. So for me, that is a massive plus for me. And I'd like to know what you guys think about it. Because obviously at the minute, if you get bit, there's a chance that you get infected, and then we can craft it's not a cure, but it's a suppressor where you inject yourself, and it just means it stops the infection running round to where you die. Unless you get bit again, then it starts it again. So for me, I absolutely love this, because again, it's going to make you think a lot more about what you're going to be doing. Moving on to how to combat infection. So clothing and armor now help reduce infection damage. You can still craft an infection treatment like before, but now it reduces infection by 50% and is tied to an unlocked skill. So we won't be able to craft it off the bat. You're going to have to get it through a skill, which again, awesome. We've also added a new homebrew medicine that can be crafted at the chemistry station. It suppresses infection gradually, a sort of poor man's version of the full infection treatment. And this isn't locked behind a skill. You just need the resources to craft it. So again, we've got that balance where you can craft the poor man's version before we can get the skill. So that is really cool. So while the system is kind of similar to before, you can manage infection and prevent death. It is now more dangerous and requires more careful planning. So, so far, feedback from all our testers on this has been overwhelmingly positive, and I completely agree. I think it is a very good new system and can't wait to never die. You know what I mean. Anyway, let's move on. And this is where they turn around and say why they've changed it. Our vision for HumanitZ has always been to make zombies something you generally fear. Being careless or making poor decisions about when you run to fight should now have real consequences. And with this change to the infection system, you can really feel it now. Agree. 1000% agree. Can't wait. Let's continue with making the game harder if you want to. Yeah, but I believe that's how it should be. It shouldn't be where you get to a point in the game where you can just run around willy-nilly and it's too easy. So I think it's great. The next thing, they are adding afflictions. So there are option modifiers you can choose before starting the game to make survival even more challenging. Now, guys, let me know if any of you plan to use this from the word go. I'd be interested to know. So, for example, you got ACL reduces movement speed. And you can see here on this image, jogging and sprinting reduced by 10%. And that will be permanent. So that will be permanent through your playthrough until you decide to start again, basically. You've got back pain, which lowers carry weight, and fumble slows reload speed. And again, afflictions are great. And, hopefully there'll be more that they'll add in the future. But again, it's a really good start. And I think it's a good thing for the hardcore people out there that want to make it a lot more difficult for themselves. Afflictions are perfect for role-playing scenario or for survivors who want to push themselves to the absolute limit by stacking an extra challenge on top of max difficulty. Case closed. There you go. Now, on the topic of difficult and settings, we have revamped the settings menu and created some pre-defined game settings to get you up and running. Whether you're a brand new player or a seasoned veteran, we've got you covered. So again, looking at this looks awesome. And you can see on the left here, we've got rookie, true survivor, hardcore, nightmare, and custom. Okay. Now, true survivor, I will assume is like your default setting, where we have here loot is harder to come by, firearms and ammo set to scarce, and extended loot respawn timer. And then we've got Zeeks are harder to kill and deal more damage, higher number of Zeeks, and bandits are a real threat. And then the next one, we've got permadeath off. On death, you lose everything. Now, this really stood out to me. On death, you lose everything. Does that mean if you've got a backpack, the backpack's gone? So, and I think it's great. I think it's that, again, makes it more punishing to when you die, you've just lost your entire loadout and everything on you. You've got to get back in, gear up again. And again, it's going to make you think a lot more, slow you down, and really give you that kind of panic if you're surrounded by Zeeks of, I don't want to die. Do you know what I mean? So again, I think it's really good. Let me know what your thoughts are on that one. We also have 5-day seasons, day and night, 45 minutes of day, 15 minutes of night, airdrops every 3 days, and weapon break active. I think this is awesome. Again, there'll be people that will use these predefined options, but you'll also have a lot of people that go through the custom menu, which we can look at here. So you can still do player, world, loot, and AI, and have a mess about with this depending on your play style. So I'm looking forward to seeing this and testing some things out myself. And again, looks absolutely incredible, guys. Seriously, hats off to the dev team so far. Cracking job. And then on to the next bit. In the last Seek feed, we shared some early images of the new custom characters, and progress has been moving along really well since then. We've added new clothing that can become worn, dirty, or blood covered over time. Now, I just want to talk a bit about this because we can see here, like on this image, there's a difference, nice and clean to dirty. Will we be able to clean our clothes? Is there going to be a washing mechanic where we can wash our clothes in a lake or something else? Or I'm interested to know, because obviously, again, over time, naturally, things would become dirty, or you're smashing up Zeeks and you're going to get covered in blood and stuff like that. So I'm interested to know, will we be able to wash our clothes? And again, let me know what you think. Hopefully we can. I guess we'll have to wait and find out. So from that bit, you've got new beards, new hairstyles that look far better than the earlier versions. We're really pleased with how this is all shaping up. And over the next few weeks, we will be working on new player faces and beginning development on the female character. So yeah, looking at this, it looks awesome. And again, I can't wait to see some of the characters that we can create. So happy days. Now, moving on to new special ammo types. We've introduced new ammo types for those who like to customize their firepower. Again, different ammo types. I absolutely love it. Armor piercing, punches through armored enemies. Dragon's breath for the shotguns, which sets targets on fire. Shredder or bleed rounds cause bleeding damage. Hard cast, heavy impact rounds for larger threats. And then incendiary ignites enemies on impact. So again, it's something for us to think about when we're going out to certain areas of what ammo do we take? Also, how easy is it to find this ammo? Will it be craftable? So on and so forth. So again, just having different ammo types is really cool. And I can't wait to, again, test them out. You know, setting some Zeeks on fire definitely sounds fun. We've also updated guns and ammo. So now when you load a firearm, the ammo is taken from your inventory and stored directly in the weapon, just like in pretty much every other game out there. Wicked. That's great, because again, they obviously say at the bottom here, when you log out and log back in, you have to reload. So that's going to stop that, which I think is really cool. So happy days on that one. We've been busy crafting new and improved challenges, along with a cleaner, easier to track UI. These challenges will reward you with XP that you need for the new skill system, helping you unlock those all important late game skills. So let's just have a look at this. So as we can see on here, there's a lot that's changed on here. At the minute, we have the radio tower for the world quest. Well, now we can see we have power plant, oil refinery, radio tower, the bridge, the law, and then let there be light. I'm super excited to see what these will be and, get stuck into smashing out some of these new world tasks. It's going to be interesting. And then obviously we've got combat survival and exploration here. So wild armor, I'm fine. Grounded leaper, special ammo, apocalypse weaponry, vehicle armor, stealth kill, grapple attack, kill a pig, kill a rabbit, trap catch, toxic Zeke, kill giant Zeke, tango down, and then obviously so on and so forth. Find your first quest, and then 50 quests, 10 quests, 5, 10, 50, 100 quests, saddle up, loyal companion, backpack power up, and all of the good stuff. Again, doing all of this is going to, build your XP up to give you more skills, because we're going to need a lot more XP now with the skills, right? So I think this is wicked. And again, something that I'm super looking forward to once we actually get this. Now, moving on to this next bit, which is quite interesting. There's been lots of work being done on the map and level design. Lots of locations and towns are getting nice updates. So here's a sneak peek at some of the work done so far. Many of these images are from locations still under construction, but it's looking really good. We've added a Hudson High School, historical museum, city bank, and much more. The whole of Hudson is having a full makeover. Now, if we look at this image of Hudson, we can see this was Hudson, right? We had this as Hudson. Now, Hudson, as we all know that play the game, is not an easy place to go to. It's full of Zeeks and dangers and stuff. And obviously now with lots of other updates, Hudson's going to be a very difficult area to go to, especially if you're alone. So planning's going to mean a lot more thought out. And as we can see here, this section and this section is new, and it's huge. It's a massive change. And making Hudson bigger, more, and being the fact it's going to be more dangerous, is going to make it all the more fun to get into and see if we can survive it, because Hudson City is extremely difficult anyway. So yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts with this. Again, it's under construction. This isn't going to be the final thing, but let me know your thoughts on the expansion and the rework of Hudson. Again, I'm interested to know. I always like to get your feedback on stuff, but we can see here some of the images. Hudson High School looks awesome. We've got the museum here, another cool new building, and we have the bank. So lots of places to explore and get into. And obviously the fact that they're updating the whole map is pretty damn wicked. And you know, I generally am so excited for this. And again, this is just some of the stuff that we have to look forward to. Moving on to the new hide grass building system. Again, absolutely awesome. I know people have said, you know, the grass pokes through your foundations and so on and so forth. And finally, it looks like something where they've fixed that issue, so no longer the grass will come through your foundations. So happy days for that. A nice little fix there, which is awesome. And then we obviously now here have new Zeeks. We've added some new Zeeks, but we won't share all of them as we want to keep them a secret for release. But here is a sneak peek of the new giant Zeke. So this big boy here, yeah, it'll be interesting to see actually how tough they are, and how long it will take to take them down. But, you know, that's just one of them. And adding some more Zeeks into the mix is going to spice it up even more so. So, yeah, this big guy here is probably going to be pretty tough, in my opinion. Pretty tough. So, again, let me know your thoughts, all right? While we discuss Zeeks, we've made some really good progress on performance and optimization, allowing us to increase the amount of Zeeks on screen. And with that, we've been working hard on the sound effects and different hit reactions to make combat feel a bit more connected. Now you can see in this like little clip here, when they hit the Zeeks, they're moving their head. The animations look incredible. And obviously, if they can have it where there's a lot more Zeeks on screen, then the performance side is going to be a lot better and optimized, which is, again, a huge plus and, you know, in the right direction. So can't wait to see some of that. We also have the new locked storage unit with juicy building loot. So again, this is another new thing, hardware store. Going to be really good for people like myself and other people that love the building side of things to find these, crack into them, and take absolutely everything that you possibly can out of there, because we're all loot goblins at heart and don't like to leave anything behind. So nice little added feature here. Now, this next bit is kind of interesting. New bus stops signs that fit in the world of HumanitZ. Check them out when you find them. They might have some information posted to guide you along the way. Hint, hint. Guys, what do we think of this? I have no idea. Maybe is it going to point you to a secret location? Is it going to point you towards the bunkers? Or I have no idea. But guys, let me know what you think. Do you think It could be any of the things I just said. I'm trying to think of what it could be, but again, I like the way that they're just saying, you know, keep your eye out for them to help guide you along the way. Very, very cool, and interested to see what that will actually be. And then we have this wonderful lot here. It's a teaser of a few new items coming to HumanitZ. These backpacks look incredible. Again, have no idea how big they'd be. I'm going to assume that maybe they're a similar size to like the adventure backpack, but I have no idea. But again, they look really good. We can also see we have a helmet here, a sword, a hammer. I will guess this could be the medicine for the infection. And I don't know, what are these? Like eggs? I'm not sure. Twinkle, maybe. I don't know, but that's pretty cool. Yeah, so, and then obviously at the bottom, once again, thanks for taking the time to read our latest Zeek feed. We hope you're excited as we are for the future of HumanitZ. From here on out, we'll be bringing you more Zeek feeds to keep you updated on progress and all the latest info as we move forward to 1.0. So, yeah, guys, again, I've done this video just to go over some of the stuff, share my thoughts of certain things on here, and I'm honestly can't wait. And again, this is just some of the stuff that's coming. And, you know, hopefully we'll get to see a few more sneak peeks at what else is to come. And yeah, so anyway, I'm going to leave this one here, guys. Do drop yourselves comments. Let me know your thoughts on everything that I've gone through today. And I hope you've all enjoyed the video. If you have, do remember to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and I hope you all have a wonderful day or night, whatever time it is for you. And I will look forward to seeing you all in the next one. But for now, guys, Loki